Cole Palmer linked to Manchester United, Bernardo Silva walking out of the Etihad for free, Julián Álvarez is already done with Atlético Madrid after just 2 seasons, and Dušan Vlahović is about to hand Juventus the worst free transfer nightmare in Serie A history. This summer is not a slow burn, it is already on fire. 6 superstar players, 6 massive clubs in panic mode, and hundreds of millions of euros on the line. These are not your typical end-of-season gossip pieces. These are real stories, real tensions, real decisions being made right now. Stick around because by the end of this video, you will be genuinely stunned by what is coming. Now look, Chelsea fans, I know you don't want to hear this, but let's be real. The rumors around Cole Palmer and Manchester United are not going away. If anything, they're getting louder by the week. Reports from multiple outlets suggest Palmer is homesick in London. He grew up in Manchester, and sources close to him say he would welcome a move back up north. And here's the dramatic part. Multiple reports have claimed United sees Palmer as a prime summer target, and he's been described as open to returning north, according to transfer insiders tracking the situation. Now Chelsea are playing hardball. They're demanding a British record fee somewhere in the region of £150 million, and new head coach Liam Rosenior, who only just walked through the Stamford Bridge door in January, is already being tested on one of his biggest players. Palmer himself has dismissed the talk, saying everyone loves to chat rubbish, classic deflection. But here's the thing, in football, when a player keeps having to deny a move this consistently, you pay attention. Any United move would likely depend on Bruno Fernandes departing for Saudi Arabia first, which would free up both the funds and the creative role Palmer would walk straight into. Chelsea are in the middle of a managerial rebuild. The last thing they need right now is their best player walking out the door too. But if United comes with the money, this gets very uncomfortable for Rosenior very, very fast. Here's the real story behind this one. Álvarez is now in his 2nd season at Atlético Madrid, and on paper, he has been absolutely brilliant. Last season, he scored 29 goals in 44 appearances, 29 goals, and Atletico still ended the campaign completely trophyless. Not a single trophy to show for one of the most prolific individual seasons you'll see from any striker in Europe. And here's where it gets dramatic because the exact same story is threatening to repeat itself this season. Atletico are currently sitting 4th in La Liga, struggling with inconsistency all season long. Despite spending over €241 million in the summer, they cannot keep up with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Álvarez himself has 7 goals and 3 assists in the league this season, doing his job every single week. But the team around him keeps letting him down, and according to Spanish outlet Sport, Álvarez has made it very clear privately he wants to win trophies at Atletico, and if this season ends without one, he will seriously consider leaving next summer. That is a player giving his club one final chance. What about the destination? Barcelona. Álvarez's own agent, Fernando Hidalgo, went on El Chiringuito, one of Spain's biggest football shows, and openly expressed his client's admiration for the club. Barcelona president Joan Laporta personally sees Álvarez as the ideal successor to Robert Lewandowski. Arsenal and Chelsea are also monitoring, but multiple reports confirm Álvarez's preference is to stay in La Liga and join Barcelona. Atletico will demand at least €100 million from a direct domestic rival. This summer could get very, very ugly between these two clubs. Tottenham fans, this is genuinely one of the saddest stories of the season, because here is the reality. Mickey van de Ven has been arguably Spurs' best player all year long, scoring goals from center-back, captaining the side, doing everything right, and the club around him is falling apart. Tottenham are currently sitting 16th in the Premier League, 4 points above the relegation zone, a club of that size, flirting with the drop, and Van de Ven has watched all of it from the inside. So what has happened? Contract extension talks between Van de Ven and Tottenham have been completely suspended until summer. Team Talk confirmed it. And the reason Spurs shelved those talks? Because right now the club's entire focus is just surviving in the Premier League. That is how bad it has gotten. And here is the brutal part. Sources close to Van de Ven say he currently has little belief that signing a new deal at Tottenham is the right move. He is 24 years old. He wants Champions League football. He wants to fight for trophies. And right now Tottenham cannot offer him either. The clubs circling are serious. Liverpool want him badly as a long-term successor to Van Dijk. Real Madrid needs a left-sided centre-back, with Alaba and Rudiger potentially on their way out, and Van de Ven firmly on their radar. Tottenham are demanding £100 million to scare clubs off. But Team Talk has now confirmed Van de Ven is expected to leave this summer, regardless of whether Spurs survive relegation or not. This one is about as close to done as it gets. Vlahovic's contract at Juventus expires in June 2026. Talks over a new deal have completely broken down, and his destination of choice? Barcelona. His agents have already communicated to Chelsea and Tottenham, both of whom showed interest, to essentially wait because Vlahović has his heart set on the Camp Nou. And here is the part that should have Juventus fans absolutely furious. Because his contract is running out, Barcelona could sign him on a free transfer. A free transfer for a striker who has scored over 100 career goals in Serie A. That is an absolute steal. Juventus held a last-ditch meeting trying to convince him to sign a 2-year extension, but Barcelona remains the clear and overwhelming favorite. Serbia's own national team fitness coach even publicly stated he'll go to Barcelona. That is your national team staff saying it out loud. Juventus spent enormous money on Vlahović back in 2022, and to lose him for absolutely nothing would sting badly. But from a neutral's perspective, Vlahović alongside Yamal and Rafinha, that is genuinely terrifying for every other team in Europe. Now this one is a little different from the rest on this list, because it is not a superstar demanding the exit. It is more of a transfer that might end up benefiting everyone involved. Newcastle paid £69 million for Voltemade last summer. £69 million. After a 12-match goal drought that only ended in the FA Cup last month, he's still struggling to find the back of the net with any regularity. That is brutal. Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and RB Leipzig are all monitoring the situation closely. Bayern insider Christian Falk has said the door could open this summer. German publication Bild reported that Voltemade has been unhappy at Newcastle for a while now, though the club has denied it. Bayern values him at around £30 to £40 million, nearly half of what Newcastle paid, and that is where the standoff lies. And saving the biggest for last, Bernardo Silva. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. This is happening. His Manchester City contract expires in June 2026, and City have reportedly accepted they cannot keep him. Multiple sources confirm he is leaving. The only question is where he will end up. The Saudi Pro League is pushing extremely hard. Al Ahly and Al Qadsiya have made serious inquiries, and there are reports of a staggering 4-year offer worth around £500,000 a week, nearly triple his current salary. Pep Guardiola himself has already admitted publicly that City will struggle to replace him, and that tells you everything you need to know. One of the finest midfielders of his generation is walking out the door this summer. It will be a genuinely sad moment for every City fan watching. And there you have it. 6 superstars who could all be wearing completely different shirts come September. Summer 2026 is shaping up to be one for the history books. Drop a comment below telling me which transfer shocks you the most, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what is going to be a crazy few months.